Hey everyone, welcome back to Skill School. I'm ScytherGreen from Server 73, and today we're looking at a passive skill that keeps things simple and brutal. Anger. There's no flash here, no procs, no crit chains, no tricks. Just raw, physical power added to every single hit. If you're running an Immortal who likes to swing hard and often, this one's got your name on it. So here's what Anger actually does. It gives your Immortal a percentage boost to all physical damage. If they deal damage with a basic attack or a physical skill, that number is higher. The bonus starts at 9% and increases as you level the skill, reaching 30% at level 8. It's a passive skill, and that just means you don't have to do anything once it's equipped. Anger works by itself and gives your Immortal more damage every time they attack. And if you're thinking about adding Anger to your build, here's what it'll cost. You'll unlock the skill when your Tower of Knowledge reaches level 27. And you'll need 8,000 soul crystals to get started. From there, you can keep upgrading all the way to level 8. That last upgrade alone costs 57,600 soul crystals, and if you want to max it out completely, the full cost comes to 122,720. I've put the full breakdown on screen so you can see exactly how much each level costs along the way. Now let's talk about which Immortals actually bring out the best in Anger. You're looking for heavy hitters, physical damage dealers who either swing often or hit multiple targets. Anger doesn't need special conditions, so it pairs best with Immortals who are always active and always applying pressure. Alexander the Great thrives on boosted basics and non-stop uptime. Hannibal adds cleave to every swing for extra coverage. And Gilgamesh brings ranged pressure with ticking physical damage over time. Let's break each one down. Alexander the Great. Alex is one of the best natural fits for Anger. His entire kit revolves around basic attack damage. His passive already boosts normal attacks by 50%, and when his skill activates, he gains another huge spike in both damage and attack speed. If you have his exclusive artifact, that whole effect becomes passive with slightly lower values but permanent uptime. No energy bar, no cast time. Just non-stop boosted damage from the moment the battle begins. This is where Anger fits perfectly. It adds a bonus to every hit he lands. Alex already applies constant pressure through sheer volume of attacks, and Anger helps him push that damage even further. Hannibal Barca. Hannibal's ultimate skill, Howling Blast, gives him a powerful cleave effect. When activated, it boosts his damage and causes each normal attack to hit an additional nearby target for 8 seconds. If you've equipped his exclusive artifact, Howling Blast becomes passive. That means Hannibal enters the battle with the cleave effect and bonus damage already active, and they stay on for the entire fight. No energy, no casting, no cooldown. This is where Anger really shines. With cleave always running, every normal attack hits 2 enemies, and Anger increases the damage on both. It's a clean synergy that boosts Hannibal's output without adding any complexity to your build. And finally, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh's main skill is called Golden Capital. When it activates, it hits all enemies with physical damage and applies something called Judgment. Judgment is a special effect that keeps dealing damage after the initial hit. It activates once every 3 seconds for 9 seconds, which means it hits 3 times in total, all with physical damage. Anger increases all physical damage, so it makes both the first hit and each Judgment tick stronger. If Gilgamesh has his exclusive artifact, Judgment also gets a bonus effect. Every time it hits, there's a 55% chance to reduce the enemy's damage. Now let's look at what to pair with Anger. You can only equip 3 Tower of Knowledge skills at a time, so each one needs to work well with your Immortals kit. Anger gives a percentage-based boost to all physical damage, which means it pairs best with any skill that also scales with physical damage. And that's the real strength here. The list of pairings is almost endless. As long as a skill uses physical attack for its damage, Anger will support it. If you're free to play, the short list starts with Chaotic Blade, Garrote, and Cleave. These are accessible, effective, and all deal physical damage that benefits directly from Anger. Let's take a closer look at them. First up, Chaotic Blade. Chaotic Blade has a 40% chance to activate every 6 seconds after battle starts. When it triggers, it hits 3 random enemies with physical damage and applies Bleed, which deals more physical damage over time. Anger increases both the direct hit and every tick of bleed. That gives you good value whether the skill triggers once or several times across a fight. Since both parts scale with physical attack, Anger directly amplifies the full output. Then there's Garrote. Garrote works almost exactly like Chaotic Blade, but instead of bleed, it applies tear. The damage values are the same. A 40% chance to hit 3 enemies with physical damage, plus a second layer of physical damage over time. Because tear is also physical, anger boosts every part of this skill too. If you're running both Garrote and Chaotic Blade together, anger helps stack their pressure by increasing the damage on every successful trigger and every DOT tick. And finally, Cleave. Cleave is a passive skill that works off basic attacks. Every time your Immortal lands one, there's a 75% chance to deal extra physical damage to 2 nearby enemies. Since this bonus hit also scales with physical attack, anger increases it directly. It's especially useful for frontline Immortals who attack frequently. The more swings they get, the more Cleave procs, and anger adds extra weight to each one. So how do you know if anger is actually doing anything? Unlike other skills, anger doesn't show up in your battle report. You won't see it listed under skill composition, and there's nothing visual in the replay either. It just runs quietly in the background, boosting your damage without making a scene. The only way to tell if it's working is to compare reports. Same Immortal, same setup, same target. One with anger equipped, one without. Let's use Alex as an example. In the first report, anger was not equipped. He was running Chaotic Blade and Cleave, and his total normal attack damage was about 21.2 million. Cleave added another 8 million. Chaotic Blade landed 9 times and hit for around 5.1 million. The bleed ticks did about 2.8 million. That gave us a good clean baseline. Now on the second report, I swapped in anger. The results were immediate. Normal attacks hit for over 21.9 million, slightly more than before but with fewer total swings. The real difference was in the average damage. Each normal attack jumped from around 260,000 to over 770,000. Cleave went from about 260,000 to over 310,000 per hit, and a single Chaotic Blade crit landed for over 1.2 million. Even the bleed ticks were stronger. Not because of better luck, but because anger boosts every piece of physical damage, including passives, follow-ups, and damage over time. So no, you won't see anger listed in the report. But if you check your average hit values before and after equipping it, the difference is obvious. Anger is doing the work. You just have to know where to look. So where does anger land in the skill school tier list? It's an easy S tier. Not because it's flashy or overpowered or changes the meta on its own. It's here because it does 3 things really well. It's accessible. You can pick it up early without it breaking the bank. It's versatile. It works with any Immortal that deals physical damage. And it lasts. You don't need to replace it later. It keeps doing its job all the way through late game. If you're building around physical damage and want a skill that quietly boosts everything you're already doing, anger earns its place. And that wraps up our lesson on anger. It's one of those skills that doesn't draw attention to itself, but when it's in the right build, the damage speaks for itself. So what are you pairing anger with right now? Have you found a skill combo that really brings it to life? Or maybe you've tested it on someone unexpected and it surprised you? I'd love to hear what builds you're running and how anger fits into them. And if you found this video helpful, then don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. As always, see you in Norheim.